What's up troopers, my name is Neon. Today we're going to be talking about the difference from live service to premium service. We're going to just be comparing between these two and actually just going to be discussing about the work ethic between these both. So before we get into the video, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, please do, and of course leave a like, thank you very much. So live service has been going on for some time now. Live service has been one of them things, well, really since 2017. One of the main games that started live service was Fortnite. Fortnite started releasing brand new content and completely free, and the question was how are they even surviving? How are they even still creating more content for this game but without really making any money? Well, they was making so much money because they was selling cosmetics, because that's the thing about live service. It's not actually the content is what making them money, it's the cosmetics is what's making them money. Example, if they released a season, yeah, everyone can go and play that season, but if people start buying seasonal stuff, then that's how they start making money. Because the live service, you don't get any of that. But the thing is, when it comes to premium, you get a lot of content, but you have to pay for it. And this is the question. Do you want to pay for content or do you not want to pay for content? Because this is the biggest question right now. I saw this post on Twitter and it was from this guy called USA Specialist. And he basically said from the Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 1, if you actually look at all the seasonal maps what it had for 2042 and you compare that to Battlefield 1 Day Shall Not Pass, the first Battlefield, the first French DLC for Battlefield 1, if you actually compare them both together, funny enough, the paid DLC was exactly the same amount of content that we have received over 2 years of Battlefield 2042. This is the funniest thing as well, because a lot of people don't actually really know this, because not many people did play Battlefield 1, and if you did, I guess not many people focused on it at that time. But for me, I was already full swing when it comes to YouTube and everything like that. And the thing is, the Day Shall Not Pass DLC took nearly 6 months to release, because when it came to Battlefield 1 was a masterpiece when it got released, a really good game, but it had literally no content, and that was the problem. And it got to a stage when it was a very dry spill, and there was just literally nothing at all, not any type of piece of content. But once they did release it, they released it with a bunch of weapons. They of course released it with 6 brand new maps, and it was a lot of fun, and I think it cost me about like $50 to pay, and that's what I did. But it's just crazy because we know that 2042 has been out for over 2 years and we have got the same amount of maps just from one DLC. Now this is the biggest question, troopers. Do you want to pay for DLC? Do you want to pay for promised content? Do you want to give these devs real money for something they can actually promise you and give you the correct amount of content? So example, if they went to you and said, hey, the next Battlefield in 2025, and they said, if you want to actually have a lot of content, you have to pay for it. Would you pay for it? That's the biggest thing. But this is the biggest problem though, troopers. It's so annoying because I feel like live service is not good. Most games can actually do a really good job of this. Battlefield's not very notorious when it comes to live service. Battlefield's really a copycat more than anything. They like to copy other games and try to steal their craft and try to steal their work effort and try to get more money. That's just kind of how EA is, kind of a little bit of a cheeky company here and there. But the fact is though, when it came to Battlefield 1, we was promised 6 new maps and we actually got it because we gave them money. But when it comes to live service, they don't need to promise you anything. They just need to deliver the little amount of content. And I think this is the biggest shame more than anything, because a lot of people have been complaining about content, and then there's some people out there who don't complain about the content because they think it's absolutely enough content. And unfortunately, I feel really bad for you, because personally for me, I really just feel like a lot of people just really let their standards down. Having 6 maps for over 2 years is absolutely outrageous. I wouldn't be super mad if we got at least 2 maps every single season, but as I was saying, season 7's not going to save that. And it's just really frustrating because now I've actually seen the comparison from a premium DLC compared to a free live service. It just kind of triggers me, because just seeing how many there is, it just blows me away. But this is the biggest issue when it comes to live service compared to premium. When it actually was premium, especially for Battlefield 1, there was one big issue, and that was because a lot of people did have the DLC, and then there was a lot of people who didn't have the DLC, and that was the issue. It splitted the player base, and that's the one thing what none of us want. None of us want a player base split. And this was always the cheesy thing as well, was that most people who did buy DLC, they were really the ones who were super invested, really want to play the game, and honestly were good players. And most people who didn't buy the DLC, they was kind of just the casual people, maybe just didn't want to give the game money. And then of course you had the loophole as well by just uninstall all the DLC, so you just played the default game and play against easy players. or you can play against sweaty people because they're the only ones who buy the DLC. And that was the biggest issue by splitting the player base. It confuses so much when it comes to region, trying to fill up a lobby, and it just wasn't working. And that's why I do like seeing live service, but the amount of content for live service is absolutely outrageous. So this is the thing, troopers, you guys let me know in the comment section, what do you want to see for the next Battlefield? Do you want to see live service or do you want to see premium? Let me know. Thank you very much for listening to me talk. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, be a part of Pink Wigami, and I'll see you on the battlefield.